Are you ready for a pick a card reading? I'm Ross Cessna from Spiritual Phoenix Studios, and we are going to do our free daily tarot card reading. But first, I got to stop and take a breath because my day has been wild. So we're going to breathe in through our nose for 8 seconds, hold it for 4, and then breathe out of our mouths. So breathe in. And if you feel better, drop a like, leave a comment, let me know. So we got 3 piles, pick a pile, 1, 2, or 3, and we're gonna look at a message from your shadow, a message from your soul, and a message from your guides. So we're not gonna waste any time. Number 1, a message from your shadow. You have gotten the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is about being efficient and routine oriented. This is saying you might need to get your shit together a little bit. A lot of times, our shadow holds a lot of good resources in it, and sometimes we might be playing a little bit too much in it. Sometimes we lose track of how we're spending our time or kind of how we're showing up to our day, and we might need to reevaluate that. That's kind of what this is saying. Make sure that you're actually getting everything done, but not forgetting time to play, right? Because you still got to acknowledge it. Now, number 1, we come to a message for your soul. 6 of Cups comes up. 6 of Cups is about innocence and nostalgia. This is the sense of reconnection. And I know that for a lot of people, this time of year can help them connect to a lot of earlier memories, childhood, stuff like that. And this is kind of a time of innocence and nostalgia. And given the whole flavor of 2020, it might be time for a little bit of innocence and some kind of good memories to bubble up to the surface. So embrace it, right? Embrace it and make sure that you have kind of a schedule that gives you that give and take so you can make the most of it. And a message from your guides, Alchemy comes up. I feel like this card has come up a lot either in other readings I've done or these ones. Alchemy is this ability to transform. I mean, they say it's from base metal to gold, but it's really a transition of consciousness from a more material or mundane consciousness to a more spiritual consciousness, right? And putting all of this in context, when you begin to find the innocence in life or quote unquote see the world through the eyes of a kid, it frees up a lot of energy to change, transition, and heal. But you're also going to need a little bit of the discipline of the Knight of Pentacles, because the more that you tap into some of the freedom that's associated with that innocence, the harder it can be to get everything that you need done. So you have to find this, that's the other thing about alchemy too, right? It's the balancing of both polarities of all polarities of our personality. So it's kind of having that active and that passive principle there. Our ones are in for like a pretty good period of time. I feel like you're in a good spot. So moving on to our 2s. A message from your shadow. Progress and discovery. This is actually a good message from your shadow. It's also cool how in this deck, Moon Void Tarot by my homie Stephanie Capone, how she kind of has a shadow element in it. This is actually a shadow working deck too, by the way. There's a whole story behind it, which you can check out her stuff. I'm sure she'll tell you. Or if she won't, I guess I'll throw it out there. This is all based upon her life and this cool little experience. But anyhow. Your message here is progress and discovery. This is kind of going in and doing some of the shadow work. And shadow work isn't like looking at all the broken pieces of yourself. It's actually loving the parts of you that you might have rejected or tossed aside and incorporating it. And this is progress on that healing journey, right? And that's the other thing. This time of year, a lot of us might have some old wounds or some things that we've done that bubble up that aren't comfortable. This is progress and discovery and healing that. A message from your soul. 7 of Pentacles comes up. Profit and vision and investment. This is honestly understanding how you're investing time. This is also understanding how you're investing your attention, how you're investing your energy. But this is saying investing in your soul will always pay off. And especially with shadow work, right? Shadow work is healing your soul, and the progress of discovery in there is an investment in your future, because the more that you learn to harness the latent energy of your shadow or all the energy that you waste on repressing parts of yourself, once you're able to accept those and free up that energy, you can channel it to accomplish a lot of amazing things. Stick with it. You're on the precipice of a big shift. And then a message from your guides, freedom comes up. And this is one of the cool things. This freedom is more so associated with inner freedom and this inner revolution. And it's the sense of freeing yourself from some of the limiting beliefs, freeing yourself from the things that you've told yourself, freeing yourself from all of that old stuff cluttering around your head, like the things that people told you 20 years ago that they probably meant as a passing comment that you like lingered on forever. I know I have stuff like that I still have to work through at times, and I've done a shit ton of work. So there's still stuff to be done, but there's going to be some freedom or release from it. Because despite that stuff being there, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily impacted by it. There comes a point in your journey where some of the old wounds can bubble up and you can look at it and say, oh, it's just you. All right, we're not going down that route. And then you just move on, right? Because you're like, you just observe and then you respond rather than react. Now, for my number 3 people, a message from your shadow is disorder and hurt. You are my 3 people. There's a big aspect of your shadow that you're not acknowledging that you might need to really have a conversation with. 3s are about communication. Swords are the mind. This is probably saying that you're still shitting on yourself over some part of you that doesn't deserve to be given crap. A lot of us, we're brought up by people who generally have the best intentions for us, but some of the ways they get us to fall in line because of their exhaustion or other things going on in their lives at the time actually limit our growth, and things that are natural expressions of being a human being get limited. And then because we go forward in life with that, it hurts us in a certain way. And then we think poorly of ourselves when we act that way based upon all of this old and incorrect information. We were misinformed by the misinformed, as I've heard it said. And this is, you got to look at it. And unfortunately, again, with the holidays, this can be a time where that stuff comes up and it's a little bit more serious. So this might be something that you have to look at. A message from my soul is for my 3 people. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. This is about mediocrity and displacement. You're not giving yourself a fair shot, and you're really putting yourself out of what you're actually capable of. Other interesting thing here is you have 2 3s. 3s are about communication, and there's some level of communication that you're not hearing. Additionally, 3s are all associated with the Empress, and the Empress energy is in all of them. Empress energy is about fertility, abundance, creativity, natural cycles, growth, new beginnings. And because this is all in reverse, this is about barrenness or omission. And this is not like a good barrenness or omission in this case. This is like an emptiness or a hole that needs to be filled up inside of you. And generally, our culture fills that hole up with things that are unhealthy for us. And it's incredibly important to be mindful of that with the holidays approaching, because there's a lot of different things that can, let's just not go there, right? There's a lot of rabbit holes that can take you down. Goddess of Air does come up as a message from your guides. Goddess of Air is really about learning to listen to your mind more. And there's a lot of things that a lot of times, like listen to your intuition part of your mind, like listen to the deeper part. A lot of us know what to do, but we tell ourselves that we can't do it. It's too much work. It's this, that, or the other. And really, if you're in this position here with this big disconnect from stuff, and you have this pain in your shadow, you're not really giving your best, stopping, taking a moment, reassessing everything, and figuring out how to channel that energy towards something that's meaningful will help you immensely. The work to be miserable or happy is identical. Like, it's exactly the same. It's just, what results do you want? And that might not sound true on the surface, but it's 100% accurate in my experience. So with all of that being said, I hope that this was helpful for my 1, 2s, and 3s. Let me know what number you picked, if it resonated, if it didn't. If you have any further questions, anything like that, let me know. I also have a YouTube channel, and I do live readings on Etsy. I do readings on Etsy, I should say. So if you ever want one, hit me up there. And yeah, take it easy. Peace.
Hey, thanks again for checking out my channel. If you haven't already, subscribe by hitting the Phoenix down below and check out more of my videos over there.